Welcome to my channel, The Light Within. Chapter 7a, Thinning the Filter, the state Edison, Sachin, and Einstein reached, and it's in you too. Let me tell you about something strange. Thomas Edison, 1093 inventions, had a technique almost nobody talks about. He would sit in a chair to nap, holding steel ball bearings in each hand. On the floor below, metal plates. As he drifted towards sleep, his hands would relax, the bearings would fall, the clatter would wake him at the exact edge between awake and asleep, and he would immediately write down whatever had arrived. Some of his best inventions came from that threshold. Paul McCartney of the Beatles woke up one morning with a complete melody in his head. Full, finished, already harmonized. He ran to the piano and played it. It was Yesterday, the most covered song in the history of recorded music. His first reaction? He spent weeks going to every musician he knew, asking, "Have you heard this before? Is this someone else's song?" He was convinced that anything this good, arriving this completely, could not possibly have come from him. Michael Jordan described playoff games where he stopped thinking entirely. The game slowed down. The basket looked bigger. The body just knew. Sachin Tendulkar described the same thing in certain innings. The ball looked bigger, time seemed to slow, and he was not thinking about the shot. He was just watching and reacting, completely effortless. Everything else gone. Einstein said it directly. "I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in silence, and the truth comes to me." What is this place? What is the state that Edison was engineering? McCartney stumbled onto. Jordan and Sachin found in the middle of a game, and Einstein learned to access deliberately. It turns out neuroscience has a very precise answer, and today we are going to understand it. Throughout this series, we have been building toward one central idea. Your brain is not a generator of consciousness, it is a filter. In Chapter 4, we saw people who acquired extraordinary abilities after brain damage, and natural savants like Shakuntala Devi, abilities that should not exist if the brain generates everything. In Chapter 6, we introduced the default mode network, your creative engine, the system that activates when the analytical mind steps back. Today's question: what happens when that filter thins? These 5 people, Edison, McCartney, Jordan, Sachin, Einstein, they were not just getting more creative, they were glimpsing what the filter was holding back. The brain runs 2 operating systems, like a seesaw. First one is the analytical filter, which is great for logic, but it actively quiets your creative side. And the second is the creative engine, your subconscious patterns, your deep wisdom. When one goes up, the other comes down. To master your mind, you first have to recognize which mode you're currently in. And there are 3 of them. The first one is analytical, where the filter is on. Your logical mode, great for taxes or math, but not creative. The analytical filter works through what neuroscientists call the executive control network, your brain system for focused, deliberate, external processing. For example, if you are writing a structured business report, checking every row and column, verifying facts, and eliminating errors. The filter is processing what is immediately in front of you, the task, the numbers, the data. Notice, when you're in a deep problem, the inner critic goes quiet. No one worries about whether they are good enough while they are in the middle of solving an equation. But the processing channel itself is narrow, highly precise, but limited. The second mode is mental noise, where the filter is off and there is no presence. What does that mean? The analytical processing quiets, but nothing takes its place. The default mode network kicks in, your brain system for internal processing, and it runs on whatever it finds, which is usually junk. Example, when you are standing in a grocery checkout line, your mind starts spinning about an awkward conversation you had yesterday, or the inner critic shows up. "I made too many errors today. I'm not good enough." Different content, same mechanism. The creative engine running without direction, on noise. And the third mode, which is the subject of today's session, is called the flow or the pure awareness state, where the filter is off, but you're intensely present. This is the genius mode. Both systems quiet. The executive control networks effortful external analysis, and the default mode networks internal chatter. What remains is something faster and deeper. Intuitive processing at a scale conscious analysis cannot reach. The creative engine pulling from your deepest wisdom. Example, Michael Jordan in his game 1 in the 1992 NBA Finals, 6 three-pointers in the first half, a run so unconscious that mid-game he looked straight at the camera and shrugged. Not because he was showing off, because even he didn't know how it was happening. His hands were releasing the ball before his mind had time to decide. He was not calculating the angle, the arc, the release point. He was watching the basket and simply responding. He was not thinking about the process. He was the process. Scientists have studied this using EEG, electroencephalogram, measuring live brainwave activity in elite athletes during peak performance, and found alpha waves, not the rapid beta waves of active, effortful analysis, your normal task mode. Alpha, the brain signature of relaxed, alert openness. The analytical filter steps back. The creative engine runs clean. Here is what is striking. The exact same alpha pattern appears in brain scans during meditation. Same state, same wave, different path to the same place. Interestingly, Edison's threshold technique was pushing even deeper, to the border of alpha and theta, where imagery and ideas become vivid just before sleep. Deep meditation can also reach theta, but for flow in athletes and performers, in action, alpha is the primary signature. Flow is not a talent, it is a state with a measurable brain signature, and that means it can be trained. Here is what makes this profound. Researchers estimate our conscious analytical mind processes around 40 to 120 bits of information per second. Your subconscious estimates reach into the millions. That is not a small difference. That is an entirely different processing channel. When Jordan stopped thinking, he was not just more relaxed, he was running on a system orders of magnitude faster than conscious analysis can reach. The executive control network gives you precision. The creative engine gives you scale. Flow is what happens when you stop using the narrow channel and open the wide one. Now, here is an honest observation. Most of us spend almost all of our time in the first two states. We flip between analytical when work demands it and mental noise the rest of the time. The checkout line, the commute, the shower, the time between tasks. That is the creative engine running without direction, burning energy, producing anxiety, replaying the past, rehearsing the future. The third state, flow, most of us stumble into it accidentally, rarely, and we cannot explain how we got there. That is exactly what Edison, McCartney, Jordan, Sachin, and Einstein figured out how to change. So, is there a reliable path to the alpha state? One you can practice every day, deliberately, not accidentally. That is exactly what chapter 7b is about. See you there. Before I let you go, which of the three states do you spend the most time in? Analytical, mental noise, or flow? Tell me in the comments. See you in chapter 7b.